Okay, today we're sitting down with three key leaders from AAK to explore how the company is helping shape the future of plant-based food through fat innovation, co-development, and sustainable sourcing. Lucas, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, Nick. My name is Lucas Hardy. I have worked in AAK for 9.5 years, and I'm head of global COEs, and COEs stand for Center of Excellence based in Netherlands and Dijk. So in the COE, I'm going to speak a bit more about that in the upcoming minutes, but in the COE, we do a lot of development and nice applications focused in plant-based foods.
Thank you very much for that. And Francisco?
Yeah, thanks, Nick. I'm Francisco Arévalo, and I'm the Global CI Customer Innovation Team Lead for Plant-Based Foods and Dairy. So focusing out of the Center of Excellence Sandijk, focusing on plant-based foods and dairy applications and leading a team of application and sensory specialists.
And finally, Kim.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Kim Olofsson, head of R&D, the global R&D organization in AK, looking into new products, new process, and new technology developments for enabling long-term innovation in AK.
Brilliant. Well, it's good to get you to know you. Hopefully, you're going to paint a picture of a company that's not only responding to what plant-based consumers want today, but helping define what's possible tomorrow. So we're going to start with Lucas to understand how AAK brings plant-based products to life. We're going to begin with you. Let's start with how you actually work with your customers. How does AAK's co-development model help brands create plant-based products that consumers genuinely want to eat?
Yeah. Well, the six-step co-development process from AAK, it starts with understanding the challenge and ends with a validated prototype duly implemented at customers' factories. Our co-development process helps our customers create plant-based products that consumers want to eat by combining consumer insights, technical expertise, and collaborative innovation in a highly integrated and supportive environment.
Mhm.
This approach aims to create plant-based products that are not only technically viable to our customers, but also truly desirable by consumers. Our AAK's structured co-development approach is designed to first identify the core needs and challenges early by understanding customers, and market better. Collaborate closely from ideation through the prototype creation. Prove and validate concepts through sensory and culinary testing. And that's one of the main goals and the purpose of the Center of Excellence. And then finally, implement at customers' facilities and support them on the launch.
Now, I know the Innovation Center of Excellence, it plays a big role. Are you able to walk me through what that setup looks like and how it helps take a product from idea to shelf ready?
Yes, of course. Yeah, the Innovation Center of Excellence plays a pivotal role in transforming a product idea into a shelf-ready success by offering a fully integrated end-to-end innovation ecosystem. It's located in a very appealing restored warehouse near Amsterdam, uh, being more precisely in front of the Zanzesans windmills. The center is designed to foster creativity, collaboration, and development. How we do that is by basically combining insights, the technical expertise, and real-time validation. Our center in the end helps our customers to reduce time to market by accelerating the development phase, minimize risks by proving prototypes upfront to the launch, and create products that consumers will truly enjoy.
Mhm.
So the center itself was designed to be a sort of purpose-built innovation hub, where in the ground floor we create prototypes using our pilot plants and lab facilities by ideation and formulation development with our technical experts. In the first floor, we collaborate by merging global insights and marketing to the applied innovation teams. And finally, in the second floor is where we normally say that the magic happens by experiencing the developed prototypes through culinary kitchen, sensory booths with our panelists, and observation room for focus group sessions.
Are there any recent examples where that center of excellence has made a real big difference? Maybe a formulation challenge that you've cracked or a sensory breakthrough?
That's a nice question. Well, overall speaking, we help customers and their respective brands solve complex formulation challenges with the COE. such as improving texture, juiciness, creaminess, mouthfeel, enhancing nutritional profiles by, for instance, reducing saturated fat, achieving clean labels and sustainability goals. This is more or less what we are looking for with the development at the COE. We can list specific brand names due to confidentiality, but we can highlight some successful plant-based products that have been developed through the AAK process, AAK development process in the COE, such as cheese, plant-based cheese or cheese alternatives with proved creaminess and meltability, with toppings with that performs well both in cold and hot applications, frozen desserts and ice creams with better texture and mouthfeel, fermented products like plant-based yogurts with enhanced taste and nutritional profile. In the field of plant-based meat, we can also highlight burgers that retain juiciness and structure during the cooking, fish alternatives with improved fibrosity and elasticity, and products with marbling effects, as well as browning as support. On top of that, we also have, for instance, developed a lipid with natural emulsification properties that could even potentially replace additives such as emulsifiers, which is good for clean label.
Now, you previously mentioned insights. How does AAK's global insights and marketing team keep a finger on the pulse of what consumers are looking for, and how do they feed that back into the development process?
Yeah. Well, our global insight and market team, which by the way is also based here at the COE in Zandijk, they plays a crucial role when it comes to further understand consumer needs and incorporate that understanding into the product development process. And they do that by performing primary research and market intelligence, where we are then able to further understand consumer preferences, behaviors, emerging trends, and regional market difference, for instance. They also do real-time and forward-looking insights to help brands and our customers to continue relevant today, whilst also future-proofing. Design thinking and strategic collaboration is also a key tool to explore new value propositions and unlock growth opportunities. And finally, last but not least, we are also doing together a lot of cross-category inspiration by sharing insights from other food categories, helping customers to gain a fresh perspective and also take advantage of other industry success cases.
We're going to turn to Francisco now to explore a crucial but often underappreciated component of plant-based food design, and that's fat. We often hear, Francisco, about protein in plant-based foods, but fat is such a big part of the eating experience too. Why is it so important, especially in mimicking animal products?
Yeah, thanks for that introduction, Nick, because indeed we often hear about, or mostly hear about, protein when talking about plant-based foods. About protein quality, about protein alternatives, but fat actually plays a really important role, and from different angles. And I can name a few examples just to illustrate that. And we start with the biggest one, of course, the sensory experience in which fats and oils actually contribute and are key in delivering the right mouthfeel and the eating experience of those animal products that we are trying to mimic, for example, and of course also supporting flavor release of fat-soluble components. And then, but also from the textural angle, the textural properties, think about how a plant-based cheese can be grated, how a plant-based cream cheese spreads, or how a plant-based whole muscle cut can be shredded. So fat, it's actually quite key to getting those things right in a plant-based product. And also for functional properties that are expected of some products, like whipping and foaming in a barista milk, which delivers that's great experience that you are hoping when you get your cappuccino. But also in products like with toppings and frozen desserts, where actually the fat functionality is key to get the right product.
What are some of the key things that you look to deliver with fat? Are we talking mouthfeel, juiciness, or that satisfying bite?
Yeah, those two elements are very important, and we hear them very often from customers, from the market. And we do a lot of work in our Center of Excellence, developing solutions that, for example, enhance juiciness, provide a better bite, but also give you the right external and internal texture in products. Think of a burger that should be crispy in the outside and brown, but also should be juicy on the outside after cooking, and on the inside, sorry, after cooking. And let's also think about from the plant-based dairy angle, where a rich mouthfeel and creaminess is expected from products. So juiciness, creaminess are actually terms that are very complex and have many layers, and then can mean very different things. Depend on the product category, but also which consumer group is targeting, or even which geography. So we focus a lot of our efforts in validating how our solutions deliver the right creaminess and the right juiciness to products.
Mhm. And how do you make sure that the fats and proteins work well together in a formulation? What's the secret to getting that harmony right?
Yeah. So of course, in AAK, we are experts in fats and oils, but it's important for us to understand that our fats and oils are not alone, and they're not in isolation in the final product recipe. And that's why it's so important to have the right to understand the customer needs, but also to have a robust experience in fats and oils, and also in application, formulation, processing, and evaluation. And that's what we do a lot of in the Center of Excellence. To give you a concrete example about this, we can say plant-based dairy liquids are an oil in water emulsion, where the fat droplets are stabilized by proteins, emulsifiers, and other stabilizing ingredients, which is directly related to product performance. So to talk about an application specifically, a barista drink, again, the product should have the right mouthfeel, but it should also be heat stable, acid stable, because it goes in coffee. It needs to foam properly, and the foam needs to be stable and needs to be have the right mouthfeel. So this is an example where understanding how fats and oils work together with our ingredients, and we know how to balance that, we know how our solutions contribute to those properties, and we can help our customers get to the right formulation in the product.
Mm-hmm. Now, health, it's becoming almost as important as taste. So how is AAK helping brands strike right balance? That's what we're going to talk about now. Francisco, there's a lot of discussion around health in plant-based foods. So how are you helping those customers reduce things like saturated fat while still keeping that great taste and texture?
Yeah. So we also like to say that we're experts in finding the right balance between functional properties of fats and other needs that our customers might have. And for example, reduction of saturated fat is one of those needs. So combining our expertise in fats and oils processing and application know-how, we can find the right solution. To say something a bit more concrete about this, we often hear customers saying we would like to go for as low saturated fat as possible, but we also need a structuring fat. And that means usually a fat with higher saturated fat. So these two needs seem to be mutually exclusive, but we can really help find the sweet spot that works in the customer recipe, test, validate it with them.
Mm-hmm. Are there certain types of fats or oils that offer more health benefits, like omega-3s or unsaturated fats, that you're working with more now?
Yeah, those are actually both very good examples of what the market consumers focus on. Low saturated fats for sure remains a focus for many producers' customers, and but I think it's also important to understand how saturated fat reduction can contribute to an all-around healthier product, and that's where our application expertise come in. So how decreasing saturated fat is really contributing to a healthier product. Just to give a couple of examples of these, we can help find the right solution to optimize Nutri-Score, if that's what the customer is looking for, to have something to say in front of pack, or even work towards health claims that are related to high in monounsaturated fats or polyunsaturated fats. Mm-hmm. And of course, we can also support with solutions toward omega-3 or DHA related health claims.
Mm-hmm. There's still a little bit of confusion around things like hydrogenated fats and trans fats. Are you able to explain how AAK avoids those and still delivers performance?
Yeah. So this is actually a very important topic and a very important question. And as a multi-oil specialty ingredient company, we think that we can find solutions for all of our customers' needs. And relating that to fully hydrogenated fats, despite having a historically bad reputation, um, just to be specific, fully hydrogenated fats are a safe and valuable option for our customers. And fully hydrogenated fats do not contain trans fats, which is often what customers and consumers fear related to adverse health effects. And let's also consider that using fully hydrogenated fats does not automatically mean high saturated fats. We can use them as a tool in our solutions to find the right proposal for our customers.
Mhm. From your perspective, how is the conversation around health and plant-based evolving, and what role do you think fat innovation will play in that story?
Yeah, so it is absolutely evolving, and we need to look at this from different angles and take a holistic approach. Consumers are increasingly aware of the health aspects of plant-based foods, and of course, they are demanding more. They are demanding more information, and they focus on areas such as protein quality. When we're talking about protein alternatives, vegetable proteins, of course, fat content, not only the content, but the type of fats that's in a product. Salt content is very important, and ingredient lists where consumers are now gravitating towards a shorter, more natural sounding ingredient lists.
Mm.
So how do our ingredients play into this? As I mentioned before, we can support with saturated fat contents, a reduction, or with incorporating sources of healthy fats, like we mentioned before, omega-3, omega-6, etc. But let's also remember the functional role of fats and oils in recipes, where they contribute to the overall texture, flavor, and mouthfeel of the product. And then this can contribute to simplify the ingredient list and work towards that better communication to customers and consumers without the need to add too many additives.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With sustainability now a non-negotiable for many brands and consumers, the spotlight is increasingly on ingredient sourcing and environmental impact. So, Francisco, what are some of the concrete steps that AAK has taken to make its oils and fats more sustainable?
Yeah, that's a nice way to say it's a non-negotiable for a lot of customers, and it's also non-negotiable for us in AK. It's at the core of everything we do. So just to name a few examples, AK has made significant progress towards our science-based targets initiative goals, which, by the way, I will not get into, but they're available in our 2024 sustainability report. We have achieved 91% verified deforestation-free palm oil supply chains. And just to give another example, in terms of our production, we have installed bio boilers that significantly reduce CO2 emissions. And additionally, AK has committed and engages in practices such as sourcing 100% renewable electricity and actively engages in regenerative agriculture practices to improve soil health and crop yield.
Mhm. We talked in our prep call about Swedish rapeseed and coconut oil. Are you able to share how those supply chains are managed responsibly and why that matters for plant-based brands?
Yeah, actually, those are good examples, but every crop, every raw material has its own very specific supply chain that needs to be managed, and they're all very different. So I would like to focus on rapeseed for now as an example, and more specifically about on our Swedish rapeseed supply chain. And thanks to the unique supply chain we have in that region for rapeseed, customers can benefit with a product with lower than average CO2 footprint. How do we achieve that? We have developed a climate platform to collect verified farmer level emissions data. So we are collecting data at the farmer level that we can use to optimize the impact of various greenhouse gas reduction initiatives, again, at the farmer levels. And we can also have help customers with more accurate data for them to perform their life cycle assessments instead of using just generally available data from the databases.
Mm. And finally, how do you balance performance and sustainability, especially when customers want a great tasting product and a strong sourcing story?
Yeah. So that ties in very nicely with everything we have spoken about, looking things from different angles and the different needs that customers might have, which sometimes can sound contradictory, for example, and that's why single oils are not always the answer. So as Lucas mentioned, that's why the co-development approach is so important. We can provide solutions which can contribute to meeting all of our customers' needs, and that also applies to a strong sourcing and sustainability story. So depending on which specific sustainability and sourcing need a customer might have, and combined with the expected experience, performance, and health aspects of the product, we can find or develop the right solution for customers.
To round out the conversation now, we're going to look to the future with Kim, who's been waiting very patiently. Kim, you're head of research and development. When you look at where fats and oils are headed, what are the technologies or trends that really excite you right now, especially for plant-based food?
Yeah, no worries. Happy to wait. Yeah, there are a few things that I would like to bring up, and we actually touched a little bit upon them already with Francisco. But I think what's happening now a lot the last few years is the health area, where we're not just looking into, for example, lowering saturated fats, but instead looking on the benefits of lipids. So we have a health science team from studies to see how can lipids support metabolic health, gut health, brain health, and so on. And there's quite a lot of exciting research going on right now, because actually lipids has been a little bit underdeveloped, understudied, so to speak, in the research community, I would say, in proportion to, for example, fibers, starches, proteins, and so on. So that is quite exciting. And of course, the whole dialogue around GLP-1 and the various analogs, of course, is also very interesting. Can we, for example, induce satiety in other ways without taking drugs, but with the help of our food and food ingredients, actually get some health benefits as well? Then I would like to say functionality, taste, texture, and so on, like Francisco mentioned, is of course very important. We looked into learn more about the matrix works between fats, proteins, water, hydrocarbons, so on and so on. And there are various technologies we're looking into, like algels, also liposomes. It could be oleosomes from plants, also lipid bodies from microorganisms. That is very exciting to have different kind of functionalities as well. And then, of course, new technologies, improving sustainability profiles, if it's lowering CO2 footprint or decreasing energy or water consumption, or creating new supply chains. There's a lot going on, but it's on a long-term basis, of course.
Now, you're involved in some pretty cool ecosystems such as Mister and collaborations with startups. How does that help you stay ahead and innovate faster?
Yeah, that's very important, actually. So it is about getting ahead a little bit, see the new technology, see the trends, talk to the right people. There's a lot of smart people out there that we would like to discuss with. So we're a part of MISTA, we're a part of Big ID Ventures, also EIT, European Institute of Technology. They have a food accelerator network. But it's not just to get in touch with the startups and the new things and the new ideas. It's also about discussing with our peers, for example, other ingredient players or our industry customers and so on, to discuss a little bit what are they interested in, what are they seeing that will come in the future, and so on. And then, of course, academia is quite important to us. We have a lot of academic collaboration, especially when it comes to the long-term studies. So if we want to do a little bit more fundamental research or do long-term clinical studies, for example, this is, of course, a very crucial part in the whole value chain.
Mhm. Are there any standout partnerships or pilots that you're involved in lately that show where the industry is heading?
Yeah, some of them we don't talk about publicly. It's early stage, but I would like to mention a collaboration with Czechoslovakia that has been publicly announced a while ago. They are a startup doing precision fermentation using microalgae to create structured fats together with us. They're based in the Bay Area in California. And that's an interesting thing up and coming now.
Now, if we fast forward 5 or 10 years, Kim, what do you think might be possible in terms of what fats can do? And are we talking new textures, better nutrition, lower footprint?
I think we can talk all of it. I see the potential to improve on all those areas. And I just to give an example and maybe a picture of how we're working and how I see we can move forward is to take 3 examples on different horizons when it comes to technology readiness. So one example on the first one that we're already doing today in commercial scale is using enzymes. So very green, sustainable, efficient methods using enzymes to modify fats and oils. We do that today, but we also do a lot of research in order to bring new processes and technologies in that area to life. The next horizon can be technologies like precision fermentation that I just mentioned, which is a technology that has been proven, it has been scaled, but there's still some way to go, especially to make it economically viable, but has a lot of potential. And then a little bit more long-term and blue sky on the third horizon, so to speak. I see technologies like Power to X, super interesting, where we basically hope to be able to use carbon dioxide, creating our carbon chains, make fats, and basically create food right out of thin air. And technologies like that will, of course, disrupt the supply chains quite a lot and change the picture of sustainability quite a lot as well. So super exciting, but not around the corner just yet.
No. Well, exciting things happening now and even more exciting things in the future. Kim, Francisco, Lucas, thank you very much for your time today. It's been absolutely fascinating talking with you. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.